Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today, we're virtually walking through Leeds city center.
Sounds fun. What's our source material?
We've got a YouTube video of like street scenes and some data on the local economy and demographics.
So we're not just sightseeing, we're trying to understand what makes Leeds tick, right?
Exactly. It's people watching with a purpose. We'll uncover the business landscape, the spending habits, maybe even spot some opportunities.
I like it. So where are we starting our virtual stroll?
Picture this. Briggate Street, bustling with people. You've got those historic buildings mixed with modern shops, restaurants, you know, the whole city vibe.
I can almost smell the street food already. So what are our first impressions? What jumps out from the video?
Definitely that energy. It's busy, but it's not like overwhelming. More relaxed than, say, Times Square.
I see that. It's brisk, but people aren't rushing. They're taking their time window shopping, browsing. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it seems like people are out for the experience, not just to buy. Lots of groups of friends, couples, families enjoying the day.
It's interesting because the data shows the average hourly wage in Leeds is about £10 after taxes.
So people are probably being mindful of their spending, even if they're tempted by all those shops.
Makes sense. But this browsing culture also suggests a desire for something more than just stuff. They want a nice atmosphere, maybe to connect with friends, grab a coffee.
Totally. And you know you're in the UK when even the pigeons look stylish.
Huh, that's true.
But speaking of style, let's talk about those businesses we're seeing. The video shows familiar names like Zara and Marks and Spencer.
Right, the classics. But also a good mix of local pubs and those ever-present convenience stores. What do you think that tells us?
Well, it seems like Leeds caters to a wide range of people and budgets.
Exactly. You've got your big brands for those seeking familiarity, then smaller shops for those looking for something unique.
It's like a balanced ecosystem, right? Everyone has their niche.
It's crucial for a healthy local economy.
Absolutely. But who exactly is this everyone? Let's get into those demographics.
Data shows a good mix. You've got your young adults, families, and professionals.
So that explains why Leeds is so attractive for businesses. Students looking for deals, families needing kid-friendly spaces.
And professionals wanting a bit more, well, sophistication. It all ties into the types of businesses we're seeing.
Makes total sense. But it's a city center, so competition must be fierce.
We'll dive into the challenges later, but yeah, it's definitely a factor to consider. This mix of people and spending habits, well, it creates a dynamic marketplace.
All right, challenge accepted. Now the video's showing it's lunchtime and things are waking up.
Peak hours, lunchtime rush, post-work crowds, and weekends, of course.
Right. Why should an entrepreneur care about these busy periods?
Because understanding those patterns is key for, well, everything. Staffing, marketing, even planning special events. What do you think? Could you see a savvy business owner using those peak times to their advantage?
Absolutely. Imagine like a coffee shop offering a power hour discount just before that after work rush hits.
Now you're thinking strategically.
But people aren't just grabbing coffee and running. What are some of the trends we're seeing in like what people are actually buying?
This is where it gets interesting. We're seeing a surge in certain sectors, sustainable products, healthy food options, specialty coffee, even vintage is making a comeback.
So Leeds is tapping into that conscious consumerism. It's not just about convenience, it's about values.
Exactly. And this isn't just a Leeds thing, it's happening globally. Consumers are more discerning. They want experiences that align with their ethics, their worldview.
I like that. Okay, so we've got this city with a diverse population, a balanced economy, and a taste for conscious consumption. But it can't all be sunshine and roses, right?
You're right, no city is perfect. Even in a thriving place like Leeds, there are bound to be challenges.
Ooh, cliffhanger. Guess we'll have to wait till next time to uncover those hurdles.
Stay tuned.
We're back in Leeds, and I'm already craving a vintage find and a locally sourced latte, but let's get down to business. Literally, what kind of opportunities are we really talking about here? What does it take to launch a successful business in Leeds?
Well, we were just talking about those booming sectors, right? Sustainable products, the healthy food scene, specialty coffee, those vintage shops. Those aren't just trends. They're signs of a shift in values. People are willing to pay a bit more if it means quality, ethical sourcing, experiences that match their beliefs.
Okay, so they're not just shopping, they're making a statement. I like that.
Right. It's about more than just the product. It's like, imagine you're walking into a shop. What's the vibe? What do you see?
Okay. I'm picturing a place with lots of natural light, maybe some plants, a cool mural on the wall, not just stuff crammed everywhere.
Exactly. It's an experience. You want those products displayed beautifully, information about where they came from. It's like you're part of a story, not just a transaction. So let's say you're passionate about eco-friendly fashion.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Right. You could open a boutique, show making those ethically sourced clothes, maybe even have workshops, teach people about upcycling, sustainable style. Wouldn't that be cool?
Totally. And what about food? We saw those chain restaurants, but there's got to be room for something more unique, right?
Absolutely. Imagine like a farm-to-table restaurant. Everything's seasonal, the menu changes, they get produce from local farms, or a vegan cafe that's not just the usual stuff, they're doing something innovative, and they've got that community vibe.
I'm sold. Where do I sign up?
Huh. Well, hold on. Before we all move to Leeds, let's talk about the elephant in the room, competition. We know it's a popular city. How does a new business stand out?
Yeah, that's a good point. You can't just open a shop and expect everyone to magically show up.
Exactly. You need to know who you're talking to, your target market. Are you going for the students, the families, the young professionals? Each group has different needs, different things they're looking for.
So it's not just about having a great product, it's about knowing who wants that product.
Right. And once you know who you're talking to, you need that unique selling point. What problem are you solving that nobody else is? Is it your product, your service, your atmosphere, or maybe it's all of them?
Okay, so like that coffee shop idea. Ethically sourced beans, they roast them in-house, maybe even offer barista workshops. They're not just selling coffee, they're selling an experience, a whole vibe.
Now you're getting it. But all this costs money, right? I think our sources had some estimated figures for starting different types of businesses.
Yeah, let's talk numbers. Passion is great, but practicality is key.
Right. For that fashion boutique, we're looking at an initial investment anywhere from £20,000 to maybe even over £100,000. Depends on the location, size, what kind of stock you're carrying.
Wow, that's quite a range. And what about a restaurant or cafe? I feel like those are always a big investment.
Even sayer, you're probably looking at £30,000 on the low end to upwards of £150,000. Again, depends on the concept, the size, and of course that prime real estate in the city center. That's going to cost you.
Okay, so this is serious stuff, not just spare change we're talking about, but I guess higher risk, higher reward, right?
Exactly. And remember, these aren't just random numbers. These are estimates based on real data from our sources.
Right, we're all about facts here.
Absolutely. But even with the money, the location, you need people, right? Building a strong team, creating that positive environment, making people feel valued. That's what makes a business last.
I like that. It's not just about profit, it's about people. But even the best team can't always predict what's going to happen in the market, right? Trends change so fast. What's hot today could be gone tomorrow.
That's the challenge. Remember those fidget spinners everyone was obsessed with? Poof, vanished. You got to be able to adapt, keep learning, maybe even change direction completely if you need to.
So it's not enough to have a great idea. You got to be flexible. The only thing constant is change, they say. But speaking of change, we can't forget about the whole online world.
Right. You could have the best cafe in Leeds, but if nobody can find you online.
Does it even exist? It's like that tree falling in the forest thing.
Exactly. You need a website, active social media, engaging content. It's your virtual storefront.
Okay, so we've got our website. We're posting on Instagram. What else? What are some of those less obvious things that can make or break a business?
One thing people often overlook is collaboration. Leeds has this amazing network of independent businesses. Tap into that.
You mean like partnering with other businesses, doing events together?
Yeah. Cross-promotion, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It creates that community feel, not just within your business, but in the whole city.
I like that. It's like rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly. When businesses support each other, everyone wins. And customers, they see that. They want to be part of something genuine.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've talked opportunities, competition, finances, but we can't pretend it's all easy, right? What are some of those challenges that might trip even the best entrepreneur up?
Good point. No business journey is perfectly smooth. We'll explore those challenges and, more importantly, how to overcome them after the break.
We're back, ready to tackle those challenges. We've talked about all the amazing things happening in Leeds, but, no place is perfect, so let's get real. What are some things that could trip up even the most prepared entrepreneur?
Right, let's not sugarcoat it. Even in a city like Leeds, there are hurdles. One that always comes up is finding the right location.
Ah, real estate. I bet in a city center, those prime spots are like impossible to get. Super expensive, tons of competition.
Exactly. And it's not just about the price tag. You got to think about foot traffic. Is it easy to get to? Is it near the people you're trying to reach? I mean, imagine you've got this amazing concept for like a vintage bookstore, but it's tucked away on some side street nobody goes down. Doesn't matter how great your books are if nobody sees them.
So location, location, location. It's got to be the right fit for your brand, your customer. Makes sense. But even with the perfect spot, you need people to actually run the place, right? I bet staffing is a challenge anywhere, but especially in a competitive city.
Oh, for sure. We talked about building a strong team, but finding the right people and keeping them, that's tough, especially when you've got all these other businesses vying for the same talent.
Right. So you're not just competing with other like startups. You're up against those big established companies too.
Exactly. And it's not just about salary, it's the whole package. You need to create a place where people want to work, where they feel valued. You know, good culture, benefits, opportunities to grow, all that matters.
It's like you're not just hiring employees, you're building a community almost. But even with the dream team, you can't always predict the market, right? Trends come and go so fast.
That's the constant struggle. You think you've got it figured out, and then bam, everything changes. It's like, remember those, what are they called, spinner things? Everyone was going crazy for them and then gone.
Oh yeah, fidget spinners. I had like 5 of them.
Right. Trends are fickle, and the businesses have to be like chameleons. They have to adapt.
Stay flexible. Speaking of change, we can't forget about the whole digital side of things. Running a business these days, you got to be online, right?
Absolutely. And it's not just about having a website or posting on Instagram. You got to know how to use those platforms. Target the right people, connect with your customers in a way that feels, genuine.
It's like a whole other skill set. You got to speak the language of algorithms and engagement metrics.
It can be a lot, especially for someone who's already got a million things on their plate. But it's worth it because the potential reach is huge. Think about that vegan cafe. With the right strategy, they could be reaching people all over the world, not just in Leeds.
Okay, now that's thinking big. But let's not forget about the ethical side of things. We've talked a lot about conscious consumerism, but honestly, is it even possible for a small business to be sustainable and profitable?
It's a valid question. Eco-friendly packaging, fair trade ingredients, all that can add up. But it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Even small changes can make a difference. And customers are more and more willing to support businesses that are trying to do the right thing.
Right. It's about being transparent, showing your customers that you care. So, okay, we've covered the challenges. What about solutions? What can entrepreneurs actually do to overcome these obstacles?
Well, first, remember that every challenge is an opportunity. Take that location problem. Maybe instead of that super expensive spot in the center, you look for a place that's a little off the beaten path, lower rent, but has potential.
Right. Be creative.
Exactly. Or think about doing pop-ups, Test the waters before you commit to a long-term lease.
I like that. And what about staffing? Any tips on attracting and keeping those awesome employees?
Well, of course you want to offer competitive pay and benefits, but it goes beyond that. You got to create a company culture that people are excited to be part of, a place where they feel like they can learn and grow, invest in training, ask for feedback, show them that you value their input.
Make them feel like they're part of something bigger. But what about those trends? How do you stay ahead of the curve without, losing your mind?
Stay curious. Read industry newsletters, go to conferences, talk to other business owners, see what's working for them. And most importantly, listen to your customers. They'll tell you what they want, what they're missing.
It's like having a built-in focus group right there in your shop, but sometimes you just got to trust your gut, right?
Intuition is important too. Sometimes the best decisions come from a mix of data, experience, and that little voice in your head that says, go for it. But don't underestimate the power of real human connection, especially in a world that's so digital.
Right, that face-to-face interaction, it makes people feel seen.
Exactly. Go the extra mile for your customers. Make it personal. Show them that you actually care. Because in a world of online shopping and impersonal transactions, that human touch can make all the difference.
It's like that feeling when you go to your usual coffee shop and they remember your order. It's the little things. And speaking of little things, let's circle back to sustainability. What are some easy things businesses can do to be more eco-friendly without, going bankrupt?
Start small. Switch to eco-friendly packaging. Try to source local product, reduce waste, and tell people about it. Let them know you're making an effort.
Transparency is key. Walk the walk. Don't just talk the walk. And I think that's a great takeaway from our deep dive into Leeds. We've looked at the opportunities, the challenges, the strategies for success, but really it all comes down to passion, resilience, and being willing to embrace change.
Well said. Leeds is an amazing city, full of energy and potential. But it's not easy. It takes hard work, dedication, and a real desire to create something special.
But for those who are up for the challenge, the rewards can be amazing. So if you're feeling inspired, do your research, connect with the community, and take that leap.
We'll be here cheering you on.
That's it for our Leeds adventure. We hope you enjoyed the journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.